Well, welcome. Kurt, I have to say, did you get a chance to watch the opening ceremonies yesterday?
Yes, I did. It was very different seeing these athletes in boats instead of walking in a stadium. You know, it was a lot different. Of course, in France, if you're ever there, you know, the popular thing is to get on a boat and go down, you know, the river. And I guess it's kind of the romantic thing to do. And so that's what all the athletes did. I thought it was pretty cool. It's just too much rain. But, you know, that's going to happen.
Yeah, I was watching the cycling today, and all the cyclists were just wiping out on the race. You probably would have liked it, Max.
Were people falling and getting hurt?
Yes.
Please send me a link.
So we're here in Raleigh, North Carolina, right? And so how are these fine folks here in Raleigh been treating you today?
I'm sorry, the folks here?
Yeah,
they've
how
been
are the folks been
incredible.
treating you?
Great turnout. You guys are awesome. This is one of the best cons I've ever been to. And you guys deserve all the credit for that. It's been great. Every day, all day, it's been constant. You guys are friendly. You show up. My line never stopped until now. And I'm very grateful for that. Thank you, guys.
And Max, East North Carolina.
I respect Kurt tremendously. I'm going to have to strongly disagree. These people smell like shit. They're poor. They talk funny. And to be honest, they all should have been aborted. But unfortunately, that's frowned upon around here, so what are you going to do? But you can buy tons of AK-47s, though. Don't worry about killing babies. Let's just shoot it up. All right.
Kurt, do you still stay up to date on current product?
With guys like him, no. No, I do. I watch WWE, AEW. You know, I always look for, you know, the next upcoming guy. And seeing someone like MJF and the success he's had the last few years, it's pretty incredible. I mean, this kid has made a name for himself. And nobody deserves the credit but him. He has his own flavor, his own way of doing things, and it works incredibly well. I mean, he came out here and just shit on all of you guys. You guys clap for him. So he's doing something right.
I'll be honest, there's a lot of great young up-and-coming guys, and I think Kurt has the most potential of any of them. So I'm really excited to see where his career goes next.
So, MJF, it's been well documented that you grew up knowing this is what you were going to do, not hanging out here in North Carolina, of course, but being in a wrestling ring.
Do you want to know an actual crazy fact?
Yes.
So when I was 7, I had my parents, who both suck, by the way, but I had my parents paint my room a wrestling ring, ropes, posts, the whole deal. Take that phone call right now. I want to know who it is. Ooh, it says babe.
That's my wife.
Oh, hey, sure. Anyway, yeah. No, but in all sincerity, so I had the room painted like a ring, and I had 3 lockers in that room painted. One was Chris Benoit, one was Eddie Guerrero, and one was Kurt Angle. And I'm sure I can get my parents to send me a photo, and maybe I'll be able to show it to Kurt later. But yeah, so that was the way my room was painted when I was like 7 years old in Long Island.
That's awesome. Kurt, well, I mean, did you know the story?
I'm surprised, but you know, he's not lying. I mean, you're talking about those Eddie Guerrero and Chris Benoit were my 2 favorite wrestlers to wrestle. I mean, I've had my best matches with both of them, and no other wrestlers but them. I've had my top 10 best matches with Chris Benoit and Eddie Guerrero. That's how good both of those guys are.
I strongly agree. Those are the matches that I grew up watching and then later grew on studying. And then later on, unfortunately, I became a CM Punk fan, but we don't need to talk about that.
Kurt, I have to ask you about becoming a meme. How... When were you first aware that this was a thing on the internet?
I saw it, and I was like, holy shit, these people are making fun of me. I was really upset. I've called my wife. I'm like, what the hell? These people are putting me up on social media and making fun of me. She's like, they're not making fun of you. They're just acknowledging that you have this funny looking face. But she said, listen, it's a term of endearment, and that's the way you need to treat it. And I think she was right. I still really don't know. I don't know if people were really fucking with me or not, but it went out there, it went viral, it went all over the world. I had people from Australia, India asking me to send them the photo of my meme. So it just went all over the place. It just went completely viral. And what's crazy is, and it kind of pissed me off a little bit, I won a gold medal with a broken freaking neck. You guys know that, right? All right. I'm a WWE and TNA Hall of Famer. But people that I meet are like, you're the meme guy. What happened? No, I'm Kurt Angle. No, you're the meme guy. So I have to live with that.
I mean, but your fans, you are used to that certain admiration that's backhanded almost, right? I mean, they saying you suck as you come out, and that for you is a term of endearment for your fans.
Who said that?
Well, I mean,
they really meant it when they said it. Of course, I was a heel when they started that. So,
what's a heel?
Real life heel, right there. No, but what were we talking about? I'm old.
People turning your metal song, your entrance song, into a term of endearment by
yes, they did. And you know what? The thing is, what Vince McMahon wanted me to do is at first he wanted me to ignore it, and then he was like, you know what? It's going too loud. The fans are getting too crazy about it. So I want you to start telling them, shut up and stop saying you suck. And I started doing that, and it got even louder. So being a heel wasn't my favorite thing in the world to do. But, pissing the fans off and getting them to yell, you suck, and making fun of me was, kind of cool. And then when I turned babyface, they still said, you suck. So I never lost it, but it became a term of endearment. And I'm not sure how that's possible. But that's what they tell me. These fans say, hey, we love you because you suck. So...
Max, I'm sure
he's confused.
I'm sure you don't feel the same way when they tell you that you suck.
It's very disrespectful. Here's the thing. I understand it, right? I'm rich. I'm handsome. I'm funny. I'm talented. Generational talent, in fact. I beat Will Ospreay in record time. I believe it was 1 minute and 58 seconds. And you know what? Jealousy it's an ugly monster. And if we're all being honest, they're all jealous of me. No offense. Because when they look in the mirror, that's what they have to see. So, it's if anything, I think I'd rather be on my side of things than on their side of things. So it's fine. Boo me all you want, pores. Boo me all you want.
I think that would be a good time
whoa.
to.
He doesn't have real heat. You guys are pretending to not like him. Okay, there you go. But no, really. He's an entertaining son of a bitch, and that's why you guys love him. Am I right?
It doesn't change the fact I hate you all, but I appreciate the kind words, Kurt.
I think that was a good time. If you have questions, feel free to line up. And while folks are starting to line up, I'm going to ask. I know this could get really dangerous. Please.
I'm a little nervous as the ones that jumped up real quick.
Right. So while they're lighting up, I'm going to ask you this question, and it can be wrestling related, it could be comic related, comic convention related. But when you're traveling, and you've met a ton of people while traveling, you've done movies. You will clearly do movies because of your good looks. And here at comic conventions, has there been a moment where you saw another guest, another celebrity, and you kind of fanboyed out a little bit?
Nope. No. Let me see. I fanboyed out quite a few times. I just can't remember who it was. If you give me a couple minutes, go to MJF, and I'll come back.
My answer's Kurt. There are very few people I respect, and he's
okay.
One of them.
He came to me today, and he's like, "I've been a huge fan of my whole life." I'm like, "Go fuck yourself."
He thought I was kidding. He was 100%. He thought I was kidding.
But you know what? I fanboyed today because I saw my nephew here, John Bernthal. And man, he is on fire in Hollywood right now. That guy, he's the Punisher. He was on The Walking Dead. He's in the movie The Accountant. He's doing several other movies. He's an incredible actor, and I'm just so proud of him.
Hello.
Hi,
What's your name?
my name is Joe, but I also can be called John Cena just without the muscles.
Joe sounds the way he looks. Just wanted to point that out. But go on, Joe.
But yeah, I have a question actually for both of y'all. It's like two different questions. MJF, the question I have for you is, whenever I was watching AEW a lot last year, one of the main storylines I saw you in that was very entertaining was that storyline with Adam Cole. So I was just wanting to get your opinion on what it was like to work with somebody like Adam Cole. And Kurt, the question I have for you is, I would say one of the best matches that I ever saw you in was back at Armageddon in 2000 when you defended the title in that six-pack challenge Hell in a Cell match. So what was it like working with all those amazing other wrestlers?
Oh, I was in the ring with 5 Hall of Famers, and it had to be the biggest star-studded wrestling match of all time. It was Undertaker, The Rock, Austin. There was let me see, Rikishi, Undertaker, Kane, and I think myself. Right, I should include myself.
I think the other one was Triple H.
Other Triple H, that's right. But you know what? It was my first year. I was a rookie. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I only trained for 7 months before I went on TV. So when I went on TV, I didn't really know psychology. So what I did is I listened to the wrestlers I was wrestling for the first year. They would call the whole match to me. And so I'm learning on the job. And then they put me in this Hell in a Cell match. And now I don't know what the hell I'm going to do because it isn't just one person. I don't have to listen to just one person. Now I have to listen to 5 others. And it got really confusing. But being a part of that match and a part of that history, having that match, and I believe I don't know where it was. Where was it?
I think I remember saying it correctly. I think it was in Birmingham, Alabama, I think it was.
Oh God, really? Well, no, but the match. What was incredible about it was seeing Rikishi take that big bump where he got chokeslammed off the top of the cage. I mean, he landed in this pickup truck, and if he would have been 1 inch to the right or left, he would have been killed. This was such a dangerous bump, and we were preparing for it all day long.
Babe again.
It's Babe. She's going to be pissed off at me. But no, being a part of that match, it made me feel the confidence that I needed to feel at that particular time, that I belonged. And being in there with all those guys was just nothing short of incredible. It really was.
And then as far as the Adam Cole stuff goes, before he betrayed me, because he's a cocksucker, he's an incredible talent, an incredible talker, an incredible wrestler. I think it's safe to say that in both the year 2019 and 2023, the guy was hands down one of the top acts in the entire industry. And to be able to do that more than 1 year, not a lot of guys do that. A lot of guys will become white hot, and then they'll just kind of fizzle out. But as far as after he betrayed me, if he was literally on fire in front of me right now, I wouldn't even piss on him to put it out. So that's my answer.
Hello.
All right, yeah. Let me talk to you real quick. Yeah. All right. We have 2 legends on stage. Okay, I just want to say I'm glad that both of you legends are here, and you too, I guess. Besides that, my question to Kurt Angle, okay, that guy right there, how do you feel Chad Gable could take advantage of the heat that he is getting right now, since his career is pretty similar?
My hat's off to him.
Yeah.
I know that what they try to do is make him the second coming of Kurt Angle. And they did. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. You know, they gave him the ankle lock, the angle slam. He's pulling his straps down. He's doing all these comedic segments. So they use the same, repertoire they did with me, and it worked extremely well. But Chad has made it his own now, and now he's no longer Kurt Angle Jr., he's Chad Gable. And I'm really proud of the kid because he's deserved this for so long. Because he's a little undersized, they never gave him a chance. Now they're giving him the chance that he deserves, and I'm really proud of him.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Okay, appreciate it.
Thank you. Hello.
Hey there. MJF, do rich people not get hot? It's like 90 degrees, bro.
He said that, do rich people not
It's
get
hot because I'm in the room, shitface. What's the next question?
Thank you. I love that. Thank you. Mr. Angle, I've always wondered, like, when I was a kid and I was watching you come out, I noticed that you always had your 96 Olympic medal on, and I always wondered, I'm like, that's priceless. Like, do they make that man go out wearing that every single time?
Okay, just so you know, Vince made 3 duplicates.
Good.
Okay, and those duplicates were pricey. They cost $4,000 each, just the fake ones. So Vince did that, and actually 2 of them got stolen. One was at a pay-per-view in Detroit. I was in a, what is that called, that chamber match where there's 5 people,
Elimination
4 chambers, elimination chamber. I'm in the chamber, and I forgot I had my medal on, so I couldn't give it to one of the announcers. So I was like, shit, what do I do with it? I'll put it on the floor. So I put it on the floor of the chamber, and I went in and I started wrestling, but when the show was over, a fan jumped over and grabbed it and ran.
No.
So we lost 2 like that, and the third one, when I left the WWE, I kept it. So I have one of the duplicates, and I have the real gold medal. The only problem is I don't know which is which. So I have to keep both of them in my safe because I don't know which one's the real one, which one's the fake one.
I got a question for Kurt. With TNA and WWE doing the crossovers right now, what are your thoughts about that? And do you wish they would have done some of that when you were wrestling?
Do I wish that would have happened when I was there? I don't know. TNA, we had a really good run back when I joined. I mean, it really became, we were doing 2.1 million viewers every week on Spike TV. So we were doing pretty well. WWE wasn't that far ahead of us. I mean, don't get me wrong, there was no way we were catching the WWE. We didn't have enough money, and we didn't have enough of a reputation or history to do that. But it was kind of cool being the alternative brand. And I don't know if I'd want them mixed together. I had a great career in WWE, and I had an even better career in TNA. And then when I went back to WWE, I wasn't the same wrestler I was when I was there to begin with. And that's when I had to decide to retire. Because I didn't want the fans to remember me as a washed-up old wrestler. I wanted them to remember me as me in my prime. And that's the reason why I retired so early.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you. Hello.
Hello, my name is Anthony. Now, this question is for Kurt Angle. Out of all the championships, including the world titles, which is your favorite?
You know what? My first world title, it was the Eagle title. That's what they call it. That was the one because it was the most special. It made me feel a sense of that I have made a huge impact on the business. Knowing that you win the world title, knowing that the company has faith in you to be their world champion. Having that feeling, especially, I literally trained for 7 months before I went on TV, and then 10 months later, I won the world title. So I was only wrestling for less than a year and a half from the day I started. And here I'm world champion. That was a great feeling. To be able to carry that world title and know that I'm representing the company, it was a really cool thing, and it really built my confidence.
Great. Thank you. Also, MJF, kill at Wembley.
Hi, my name is Zach. This question was for Kurt Angle, but since MJF is here too, I might as well ask. Wow. In terms of moments that you've had in wrestling, what's the best moment that you've had in terms of either matches or segments or whatever in North Carolina or maybe even Raleigh?
Gosh. Man, that's tough. I can't remember. What?
He just screams out SummerSlam.
SummerSlam, was that with Stephanie and Triple H? Yeah, well, listen, that storyline made me. That's what brought the attention to me. That's what made the company think that I could be a world champion, was going through that storyline. The whole love triangle between Stephanie, Triple H, and myself. And the crazy thing is, and I'd love to say that was my greatest memory, but I don't fucking remember one thing that happened that night. And it's because I got a concussion. Okay, Triple H gave me the pedigree through a table, but when he put the pedigree in, he jumped up and the table gave out too early, and I crashed down, and I went with my head straight on the concrete floor, and my arms were tied behind my back because Triple H still had them. So I landed right on my head, and I was out. Triple H is trying to wake me up, and I'm snoring. You know, he's like, oh my God, he's out. So they wheel me to the back. And they were supposed to do this anyway. This was supposed to be part of the storyline. They're supposed to wheel me back, but now they're wheeling me back for real. And I'm in the back, and I'm laying there, and they have a doctor there, and the doctor's like, oh, he has a concussion. He's really messed up. And the WWE, they're like, well, we need to get him back out there. I was like, you know, like, I've seen videotape of the incident when they were doing this. And it's like, wow, like, you talk about being desperate, wanting a guy that has a concussion to go back into the game so they could finish the match. And I was like, holy shit. So I remember I don't remember this, but what happened was Vince said, listen, we need to get him out there. We need to do whatever you have to do. And we had to do a pre-tape, a live segment backstage where Stephanie says, Kurt, I need you to go out there to help Triple H. And I was supposed to say, okay, Steph, I'll do it for you. And so we're getting ready to do it. And I looked at Vince and I said, what am I saying? He said, okay, just say I'll do it for you, Steph. So I'm like, okay. And then I look at him, I go, what am I saying? And he goes, just say I'll do it for you, Steph. And I relax and I'm like looking around. I go, Vince, what am I saying? He's like, God damn it, someone get him some smelling salts. So they're giving me smelling salts. And they end up bringing me out. Stephanie's holding me by my arm. She's walking me out. As I go out to the ring, when I get to the ring apron right there, there's a spot where The Rock's going to come off the ropes, and I'm supposed to grab his foot and trip him and pull him out. So Stephanie's telling me what to do. So here comes The Rock. He's coming to hit the rope, and Stephanie goes, grab The Rock's foot. So I grab his foot, and she's like, pull him out. Like I was supposed to know that. So I pull him out, and she's like, ram him into the steps like I was supposed to know, you know. And I ram him in the steps, and I look at her, and she goes, get in the fucking ring. So everything that she said, I didn't know that I was supposed to go further with it. So now I go back in the ring, and I get in there with Triple H, and thank God, he's such a great in-ring general. He led me through that whole match. I mean, he made me look like $1 million. And having a concussion, not knowing where I was. There was a point in time where Triple H had this sledgehammer, and he was going to hit The Rock with it, he was supposed to hit me with it. And he went to swing it at me, and Stephanie was behind me. And he knew I wasn't going to duck, and I was supposed to duck so he could hit Stephanie and make it look like an accident. And he knew I wasn't going to duck, but he grabbed my head and he pulled it down. He hit Stephanie with the sledgehammer. And I watched that on video. I'm like, that was weird. He actually pulled my head down, and the fans didn't see that. It was just crazy. So just being carried through a match and not remembering anything about the match, even afterward. I didn't come to till 3 hours later in the hospital. I woke up and I was like, what happened? And they said, all this shit happened tonight. And I was like, I don't remember one thing. And it was just crazy. So I wish I could say that I have a great memory of North Carolina, but I can't remember anything. Okay, MJF, you're.
I have no good memories about Carolina. Carolina's a horrible place. But I would say the most memorable match that I unfortunately had to have because my boss made me fly there was me and FTR versus Sting, Darby, and CM Punk. I believe this was this Christmas Eve or something? Yes, people are nodding. And the match was incredible because I was in it. And Sting almost killed me. I actually have I guess, I don't know, maybe Carolina and concussions is just a thing. So Sting grabs me and he throws me over the rope. And I'm sure somebody will be able to like pull up footage and then watch this afterwards. And I just didn't have enough juice when I went over the rope. So my body is immediately doing this, and I'm about to pencil dive, and Cash and Dax, because they liked me at the time, now they don't, they grab me just in the right amount of time, but not exactly enough time, because my head's still smacked on the floor. So now, you know when you like, not black out, but brown out? Okay, if anybody's gonna get this, it's you, because we both get punched in the head for a living. So I brown out, and when I come to, Sting's jumping on me, and then I get thrown into the ring, and then Dax like pounces me out of the ring, and then unfortunately CM Punk cheated and won the match, as he always cheats when he wins, and that is what I remember. So I also suffered an interesting concussion in Carolina.
Thank you.
We both suffer concussions. Yes.
There you go. Concussion Carolina.
Hello.
First off, do you guys believe in Joe Hendry? And second, if you guys wrestled, who would win?
Who would win?
Right now?
Yeah.
I mean, come on, Kurt. Prime Kurt Angle? I think that would honestly, I think that match would have been a masterpiece. Yes. And I think it would have been absolutely spectacular.
I agree with you. Wouldn't matter who won.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
Yeah, the fans would win, even though I hate you guys. And then I'll answer on Joe Hendry, and then I'll let Kurt take over. I think what Joe Hendry has done is incredibly impressive. He's managed to, get over with a fan base, not by what he does bell to bell, but with like singing and music, which it just goes to show you how much this sport has changed as far as the different ways and avenues you can create, a fan base. This was not a thing. Even when I started, Twitter was blowing up adjacent, and YouTube obviously was pretty big, but like now people are really getting over with YouTube videos and Twitter and Instagram, and it's such a massive facet of the game now, whereas it really was not of importance, especially when Kurt, was in his prime. So I think it goes to show you, I appreciate anybody that does things DIY and does whatever it has to take to get over. Do I believe in him, though? Like, would he beat me in a wrestling match? No, I'd fucking slaughter him.
But Joe Hendry, I did have the opportunity to wrestle him when I took a year off between TNA and WWE. I went overseas and wrestled him at WCPW, and talented kid. And what was crazy is I look up I'm out in the ring. I'm getting ready to, have Joe's going to come out next. And I look up on the screen, and he's singing a fucking song about me. I was like, this is really good. I was like, holy shit. I mean, the kid's talented. And I told him, I said, listen, one of the major companies is going to sign you. You're just way too talented. I had a 5-star match with the kid, and his singing and music talents are impeccable. So I think this kid has a huge future. And he's not just going to be a great wrestler. He's going to be a great overall entertainer. And that kid has it. He has it. Yes.
Thank you.
All right, so we have a little bit less than 10 minutes, so we're going to try to get through as many as possible, if we can lightning around that.
Okay, so I have a question for both of you. So for Kurt, if you could
I hate your shirt.
He's the best in the world. Anyways, so for Kurt, if you could have one more match with anyone, who would it be and why? And for MJF, if you could have a match with anyone, who would it be and why?
Like I said, I really think it kills me I never got to wrestle him in his prime. That was definitely a big bucket list thing for me. Chris Jericho, obviously, when I got into the industry, was a big bucket list thing for me. So the fact I got to do that was huge. Although he's a bitch, I beat him. CM Punk, that was a big deal. What Let's see. As far as guys in AEW, I firmly believe that me and Swerve Strickland, whenever it does happen, is going to be a hell of a battle. And I'm going to beat him in, I don't know, probably 3 seconds. But it's going to be the most intense, captivating 3 seconds in the history of the sport.
Hate to break it to you, but it's Swerve's house.
I don't agree. I don't agree.
Well, I will tell you this. I would want to wrestle MJF. And not just because he's an upcoming talent, it's because he's already there. I mean, this kid has done incredible things so far, and his talents are just off the chart. And watching him perform is incredible. And, you know, he is, put it this way, why do you think AEW signed such a huge contract with the kid? Okay, they know how good he is, and that's why he is where he is right now.
Thank you.
I'm very rich. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, my name is Nathan. Kurt, first off, I rewatched Dylan Dog, your part. Solid. And
Wait, what?
Yeah, I didn't understand either.
the movie Dylan Dog with Brandon Routh.
Oh, Dylan Dog. Okay, okay.
Your part
Yeah,
was,
that when I was a werewolf.
Yep.
Yeah.
Very solid.
You know how long that makeup took? 12 hours. 12 hours. What, you're laughing because I was a werewolf?
It's fucking insane, yeah. It happened.
Hey, it was a good movie. Ty Diggs was in it. Brandon Routh was in it. Peter Stoudemire was in it. It was a really good movie. Now, did it do so well at the theaters? No, it didn't. But it was a good movie. It just didn't have a lot of money behind it.
Right. But my question being for both of you, who do you think in your careers, respectively, was the most underrated or underappreciated in your opinion?
Wow, that's tough. Thanks. I don't know, because the one that I think's underappreciated, and he's not really underappreciated, he just will never go down in history as the greatest of all time. But the kid deserves to. And that's Rey Mysterio. Think about it. Has anyone ever said that Rey Mysterio was the top 5 greatest wrestlers of all time? You never ever hear him in a conversation like that. But he deserves it. That kid is so damn good. I've been in a ring with him. All you have to do is catch that little fucker, okay? You don't have to do anything else. Just catch him. He flies around the air. You just catch him, and you end up with a 5-star match at the end of the match. Rey Mysterio, I think, is the most underrated wrestler in the history of wrestling because he's never been on a Mount Rushmore. I never heard him be on a Mount Rushmore.
I think I have 3 answers, but I feel weird saying it because when you say underrated, sometimes it could feel like a slight. But what it would be is I feel like these 3 guys are so tremendously talented that at some point in time, they should have the opportunity to become world champions. And my 3 answers are Roosh, Konosuke Takeshita, who I've been in the ring with the best in the world, and point blank, he's one of them. I still tapped him out like a bitch, but he's one of them. And then lastly, Ricky Starks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hey, how you doing, Max? I have a question for you real quick.
Don't talk to me like we're like formal. My name is not Max to you.
Sorry.
That was unreal.
He actually has the same scarf as you, brother.
It's brown.
I find it funny that John Cena announces his retirement when you're like red hot. I think he's afraid to take that L. What are your thoughts on that?
Hey, you said it. No, John was very nice. He put me over huge in multiple interviews. I think deep down he knows that he should have had that match with me instead of Austin Theory? Yes. We all know the answer. Anyway, that is the answer to the question that I'm going to give, so thanks.
Hello.
Hey. So in the IWC universe, there's this kind of hope that there will be a forbidden door tournament between the 2 companies, WWE and AEW. So my question, since you guys are stars in both the companies, are you in favor of that? And MJF, who would you wrestle from WWE?
Oh, gosh. I think I have to agree with what Kurt said earlier about the separation of state. I think what makes an alternative so special is that it does exist, not fully in its own world. You know, we have the incredible partnerships with shitty independent companies like New Japan and CMLL, you know. But at the end of the day, I think the separation is good because it allows fans to fantasy book. And sometimes I think fantasy is better than fantasy becoming reality. Sometimes fantasy should stay fantasy.
And you want to make sure the two biggest companies stay apart.
Yeah.
Competition's always good, and it's good for the wrestlers. It's good for the business. It's good for the fans.
But we want our truth to show up and thank AEW's WCW.
Okay.
Thank you. All right, we got a couple more minutes.
Thank you, Ad.
Hello?
Hello. So my question is for Kurt Angle. If you could redo one thing in your WWE career, what would it be?
Redo?
Yeah, if you had one deal or
Okay, the day they introduced me to painkillers.
Oh, wow.
That's what I would redo. I broke my neck, and the first time I broke my neck was right before the Olympics. So I had a good, 7-year run before I broke my neck again. But the second time I broke it was in the WWE, and it was against Brock Lesnar. And when I went to the hospital, it was the first time I tried a painkiller. And, I will tell you this. Some people get sick when they have painkillers. It makes them queasy. Me, it made me feel incredible. It not only masked the pain, but it made me feel so energetic. I was addicted right away. And I wish I would have never taken that first pill. Because what that caused me to do was tumble and just fall. And I went on a downfall for so many years. I was taking 65 extra strength Vicodin a day. Wow. Okay, I was enough to kill a horse. And not only that, but once I got my painkiller problem under control, I started drinking alcohol excessively. And that's what an addict does. He switches from one drug to the other. And I ended up with 4 DUIs in 5 years. My life spiraled out of control. I lost my reputation. Everything I worked for, I was at the lowest point in my life. And I remember, just being in jail and call my wife for the 4th DUI. And she says, listen, don't come home. I'm going to leave you. Unless you go to rehab, I don't want to see you. And I didn't want to lose my wife and my kids, so I went to rehab. And it was the best decision I ever made. I've been clean and sober for 13 years now. But I always think about that day, that one day when I tried that first painkiller, and I would love to redo that. Definitely. I didn't have to take painkillers when I wrestled in the Olympics. I don't know why I had to do it when I got in the WWE. It's just that it was more available. It was like they were the thing. They were a thing to take, and it controlled my life. So I hate to, end on a bad note.
All right, so not a bad note. You recovered, and you're strong, and you're good, and you're fucking sober.
Thank you. Thank you.
So that's gonna be our time. By the way, if you didn't get your questions asked, both our American heroes will be back at their table right after this. Any last words for these folks here at GalaxyCon Raleigh?
I just want to thank you all for coming today. You guys are incredible. I want to thank you all for everything that you do for us. We will always do whatever we can as entertainers to entertain you, and we love you for that.
I hope you all die.
One more time, give it up for MJF and Kurt Angle.